Welcome to 6 Minutes. Jason Fulmore here, SE Wrestle, here with David and Catherine Grace Bertrand. Hey guys.
Hi.
So Catherine Grace, is it Catherine Grace? Is it CG? What's the best way to ask you a question? Or if I say,
well, my mom calls me Catherine Grace, and everyone in my family calls me Catherine Grace, but it really doesn't matter.
It doesn't
matter.
Most
of my friends call me CG. It's whatever you prefer.
Okay. All right. I've seen it different ways, different places, and I wasn't sure. So I wanted to make sure I asked. So, well, first, I think, I don't want to bury the lead. So I think it's really important to actually talk about you guys both committing to go to Presbyterian next year.
Yes, we sign tomorrow.
Oh, you sign tomorrow?
Yes.
Fantastic. That is awesome. So this is actually being recorded on Tuesday. I'm hoping it will drop on Thursday. So this will actually happen right after you guys have signed. So congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
I guess first and foremost, and we'll go with David, you first. Why Presbyterian?
Well, I mean, Coach Cody, just a great coach, very knowledgeable about wrestling, and there's not many schools that allowed me the opportunity to wrestle and play football in college.
Yeah.
Presbyterian was one of the few schools that gave me that opportunity, and was like, well, some schools did have the opportunity, but they weren't like really into it. Like Presbyterian, like they want me to come and do two sports. Unlike some just like, yeah, you can come here and wrestle and play football. I guess you can do that, but like they really want me. Both coaches really want me there. They really want me competing for both their teams. So I guess that's a big reason why. And also, both teams compete at a very high level, and that's something I was looking for as well. Looking in for a school as well.
Awesome. And for people who don't know, you're a long snapper and one of the best long snappers around in football.
Yes, sir.
And wrestle at 182, 170, 182 right
182,
now?
170. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Awesome. How about you, CG? Why Presbyterian?
Okay, so one thing is that I really wanted to go with my brother, and it works out well, so both of us can go together. And it's close to home, and on top of that, they have some really good girls around my weight, so our team will be pretty good, and I'll have some good girls to drill with. And Mark Cody's a really good coach, so I think I would learn a lot there. So I just think it'd just be the best opportunity for me.
Yeah. And there is a lot of opportunities right now for women wrestling, and you probably had a lot of choices that you had to make just as well of where to go and that sort of thing. But and I was going to ask you, did you guys going together, was that something you guys thought about, or?
So originally that really wasn't the plan, because up until about my junior year of high school, I really only wanted to play football in college. And then about after my junior year, that's when I decided I wanted to wrestle too. I wanted to continue wrestling. And so if I were to go play football in college, me and her probably wouldn't have gone to college together. But when I made that decision, going to college together just became something we wanted to do after that.
Yes, sir. Because I went on a tour to Presbyterian, and I really liked it. So I told David about it. And then he wanted to go look at the school, and then he ended up really liking it. So we were like, we should just go together. So
Very cool. So Catherine Grace, were you the first person who said, I'm leaning this way, and then David kind of looked at it, or was it?
Well, I saw the school first, and I really liked it. So it was me, and then I told David about it, and then we went on a tour there together.
Got it. All right. So, and it's not too far from home.
No, it's about 2.5 hours from Atlanta, or from where we live. So
that's a positive.
Yes,
so
sir.
You guys can still come back and watch Joey wrestle a little bit.
Yes, that makes it a lot easier as opposed to some other schools that were up in Pennsylvania or Illinois, where you have to fly to get back home.
Right.
So that was definitely part of the decision.
So you guys, you've been wrestling for a while. I don't actually know how long. Which of the two of you started wrestling first?
So I started wrestling in first grade.
Okay.
I just did club wrestling for the local high school. Didn't take it very seriously, just something my dad made me do because he just thought it was a great sport. And then when I got about fourth grade, that's when Catherine Grace decided to start wrestling. So yeah,
I started wrestling because I saw David and Joey doing it, and I just thought the practices looked really fun, and they played games and stuff, so I decided to join. Okay. But then we ended up taking it really seriously when I was in the 6th grade, because me and David were both terrible and we were sick of losing. So we decided to start training somewhere. So we started training at Arturo's, and then we got a lot better, and it just kind of took off from there.
But the first impetus for you getting into it was your brothers were doing it and it looked like fun.
Yes, sir. It looked like fun at the practices, so I was like, I'll try.
All right.
Better than sitting there.
And David, when did it kind of turn around from your dad kind of making you do it to you going, you know what, this is something I like and this is something I'm really pretty good at?
I'd say probably about 6th grade when I started taking it seriously, because that's when I started winning more matches. Because about 1st to 5th grade, I lost almost all my matches. I just wasn't very good at it. And so when I really started to like wrestling was when I started winning more, basically. I mean, I wouldn't say I disliked it in 1st to like 5th grade, but if I had like the option to stop wrestling, I might have chosen to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got to about 6th grade, I started winning more. That's when I really started to enjoy the sport.
So have you guys thought that, I don't know if there are other brothers, sisters who have wrestled in college or not, but certainly no twins that have wrestled in college, right?
I don't think
twin, a brother, sister, twin. I mean, you guys are twins, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, the Smith brothers from Archer went together, but boy, girl, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So that's kind of, I mean, revolutionary. It's kind of unusual that you guys are not only going to be competing, but one of the things that's really interesting is that you're going to be competing. You're going to wrestle freestyle or scholastic style, David, and Catherine Grace, you're going to wrestle freestyle, which I've seen you wrestle folk style and you're a hammer on top. Love that power half. Do you feel as comfortable in freestyle as you do in folk style?
Well, I used to feel a lot more comfortable in freestyle because my sophomore year, I would go on a bunch of trips and we would travel, and that really helped with my confidence, especially in junior duels. That was probably when I was my best. But then COVID hit and I didn't get to wrestle the whole season. So I'm not as good as I was before, but I'm still pretty decent at it. And once the wrestling season for high school is over, I'm going to start taking it really seriously. So I'll be back to where I was.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just saying, I've seen you wrestle both, and I know watching you wrestle freestyle or folk style on top, you have a tendency to really get after turning somebody and trying to get that pin. So I was just making kind of that, I was looking at that. So you guys just won this past weekend, the state duels.
Yeah, it was
for Mount Pisgah.
Very exciting for a state championship.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that. That's fantastic.
So we came to school in about 7th grade. There's about 3 kids on the varsity wrestling team. The only reason we came to school is because my sister wrestled in the high school he planned on going to. Wouldn't let a female wrestle for them. So my dad sent out a few emails to high school coaches asking them which ones would let a girl on their team. Coach Mary was the first one to reply. So that was the school we were most interested in. We went there. And then that's when we got there, that's when some of the other wrestlers started coming in, like Josh Noble, Cam Johnson, Jake Picarelli. That's when they also, Tyler Nelson. That's when they also just kind of started following us there. And that's when the team really took off. And then the wrestlers that were there when we got there, they got a lot better as well. It's like Brad Spence, our 145. He was on the team before we were there, but he's really gotten a lot better over the past few years.
So what was it like going into this past weekend? Did you guys were you thinking, we're going to win?
Yes, sir. We knew we were going to win.
You knew it.
Yeah. We were giving up for our 285. He dislocated his elbow last year against Triumph in the state semifinals.
Right. I remember seeing it.
Yes. So he was out for the rest of last season. That injury kind of came back to him this year, and we ended up losing him. And then our 95 had a shoulder injury from football, and we lost him for that duel too. So we were giving up 12 points in every duel. So, I mean, that was probably the only thing that I think concerned anybody on our team. We knew we were going to out wrestle everybody. Just it came out of those few head toss-up matches, whether we won those or not. And if we lost those matches, we were kind of concerned that those 12 points might come back to bite us. Right. But luckily, we were able to dominate most of the way. Well,
and between what I wrote, between 106 and 170, you weren't going to lose much. If you were going to lose a couple, you were going to just lose a couple. And that was going to be your shot at, if somebody was going to beat you, they would have to beat you down there, I would think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So when you guys are wrestling Commerce in the finals last weekend, and at what point in time did you go, you know what, it's going our way? you know, this is the moment we feel really confident that, you know, we're actually going to win.
Okay. Well, I knew once we got past our heavyweights and we got to me, I knew we were going to win after me because we were in the lead after giving up a forfeit at heavyweight, and we gave up a forfeit.
We were down 14-12 after, because we started off with me. I started off with 6
Right.
for us.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to our 182 happy chain. He won off of a minor decision. We were up by 9. Then we got to 95. We gave up at 6. 220. Our 220 got pinned by Jacob Frades. Then we gave up another pin at heavyweight. So we were down.
Yeah, you were down a little bit, but you weren't down a lot.
Yes,
I was watching your duel.
We weren't stressed too much. We knew we were going to come back, and then once we got to Catholic race, that's when the momentum started to pick up again.
Because that's like our strongest like stretch, like 106
Right.
to 170. So I knew once we got past the hardest part of the duel, we were definitely going to win because we weren't even like that far behind. So,
and to be honest, the match for me where I thought we got this wasn't a match we won. It was a match where a kid that we thought might have ended up giving up 6 points for us stayed in there with a 2-time state champion the whole time, Brady Nardella.
Yep.
We were just praying that he wasn't going to get pinned, and he ended up only losing by 3 points. And there, I was like, he couldn't get the 6. There's no way I don't think we can lose this anymore.
So actually that was for me when I was watching. That was the match that I was like 10-7. You guys, and I think at one point in time, Brady had him on his back, and you're like,
yes.
You know, even if they lose this match, I don't know that they're going to lose the duel. So that was for me when I was watching. I was thinking exactly the same thing. So, so winning a dual state championship, which was pretty awesome. Now we turn to individuals. David, you're going for what, number 3?
Number 3, yes, sir.
All right, and Catherine Grace, your first one.
Yes, sir. I'm looking to be the first girl state champion in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, I know. And I think that's awesome and so interesting. You know, I was talking to your dad and up at Super 32 or Grappler or whatever. And my question really with him was, you could have won multiple state titles in the girls division. I mean, at least I think you could have. Why stay on the guys side? And, you know, you are now probably the number 106 heading into the traditional state tournament here in the next couple of weeks, I would think. So was that part of the plan all along?
Yes, sir. Well, my original goal when I was younger was just place at boys state, but I did that my sophomore year. So after that, I, made my goal a little bit bigger, which was win. So I was planning my senior year to go down to 106 and try and win, because the other years I have won the girls division before when it was unsanctioned in Georgia. So that's why it wasn't much of a goal for me, because I already did it. It just wasn't sanctioned. So I don't know. I wanted to do something really challenging.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. But right now you could be going, David, I'm going for 4 and you're going for 3. No, I'm just kidding. You could be, but it's fantastic. Yeah. So do you think about winning at 106 or?
I think I'm going to win.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound braggy or anything, but I think I have a really good chance of winning because I've been wrestling really well this year, I think, so far. And so far, I've only wrestled 2 106 matches, but I beat both of the kids I wrestled. And one of the kids I wrestled was actually pretty good. And I think I wrestled well against him, even though I was kind of tired from cutting the weight. So I think if I can beat him while being tired from cutting weight, I think I have a good chance of being able to beat anybody.
Very cool. Well, I want to wish you the best of luck on that. And I want to transition real quick back, because we're going to run out of time, real quick back to Presbyterian. David, you're going to juggle 2 sports.
Yes, sir.
So that's tough. That's tough in high school. I can't imagine how tough that is in a Division I college. So what's your kind of mindset as you think about it?
It's definitely going to be a challenge. And I mean, I love both sports, and it was kind of hard for me to pick between the 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I was like, I've seen kids do both. Fresno State had a guy on their team, and he excelled in football and wrestling there. So I was like, if he can do it, I can too. So definitely just got to stay focused, stay organized, but it's definitely something I think I can do.
Very cool.
But
well,
it's going to be hard.
Do you think where will you wrestle in college? Do you think what weight?
So, I mean, I'm not sure how much bigger I get because, well, since I'll be playing football, they'll probably try and put some size on me.
Right.
Since I'll be playing Division I football, so if I put some size on there, maybe 174. But if I stay about right now, I can maybe see myself going 165.
Okay. All right. And what about you, CG? Where are you going to wrestle in college? Do you know? Any idea what weight?
So I've been recruited as the 116 for most like when I was being recruited as the 116. But right now the girl that was their 109 is bumped to 116. So I think they're gonna want me to be the 123. And if I end up gaining weight from, just working out, I think I could do that. Or I could wrestle her off. I don't know. It's probably going to be up to the coach for this year.
But you'd feel comfortable in any of those
either
areas?
Way I'm comfortable with, so it's okay. Probably 116 or 123. It's not a big deal to me either way.
So as we wrap this up, long-term goal, David, play both sports. Is there a kind of, you want to eventually get to a particular point in one of the two sports, or?
I mean, obviously my goal would be to maybe win a national championship in wrestling. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't shoot for anything less than like the best thing I feel like I can do. And as far as football, I mean, try and see like try and get like All-American, I guess, is like or maybe get all conference as a freshman, and then maybe go All-American as a sophomore, and just kind of like see how I can progress as far as that for football.
Cool. What about you, CG? Is there in your head, or are you thinking long term, or are you just enjoying wrestling in college and kind of see where it goes?
Well, that's kind of it. I mean, obviously I'm going to work hard to try and win a national championship if I can, but I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just going to do my best and see what I can do, because that's usually the attitude I keep for everything that I do. I'm just like, it'd be nice to do, but we'll just see how I do. So I guess that's about it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I want to wish you guys the best of luck this coming week, or not. Well, this weekend is area, obviously, but
yes.
Or region, depending on how big. And then the weekend after, or the middle of the week, I guess it's for you guys. I want to wish you guys the best of luck as you go for a third state title, David.
Yes.
And you go for his first state title, CG.
Thank you.
Best of luck. And you guys need to touch base back with me when you get to Presbyterian and kind of tell me what the experience is like. Would that be cool?
Of course.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. You guys take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too.
Thank you.